40 years, Mario has been synonymous with the medium of video games. My generation, born in the 1980s, will likely remember Mario's first outing on the silver screen. Though the live-action film is viewed as a cult classic today and is widely accepted as the first ever video game film adaptation, it was bad enough to send Nintendo's film ambitions back to the drawing board for 30 years. Over that time, Mario's video game adventures have become more popular and more prominent in scope than ever, spanning multiple console generations, with each advance in technology ever expanding the size of the titular plumber's world. For all the advancements gaming's de facto mascot has seen in the mechanics of its gameplay, little has been done to flesh out the story of the iconic plumber outside of rare interviews with its creators. It was then, with no small amount of trepidation, that I, and fans like me, approached the news of a new film adaptation of the Super Mario Bros. Franchise. Unlike the last attempt, this new film is an animated feature, helmed by Illumination, best known for the Minions series. When I heard Illumination would be helming the film, I was worried that it may skew too child-friendly, leaving older fans like myself hoping for something that spoke to my experience with the franchise. Those fears would turn out to be unfounded. From the opening moments of the film, it's clear Nintendo was much more involved with it than the Super Mario Bros. Of 30 years ago. Nintendo's logo is prominently displayed at the beginning of the movie, not unlike the way Marvel introduces their brand at the beginning of the latest superhero blockbuster. Seeing Shigeru Miyamoto credited at the beginning of the film inspired confidence, as the creator is known for being particular about the representation of his creations across all forms of media. The cast, a full roster of A-list talent, turned in spectacular performances. Jack Black stole the show as Bowser with a perfect blend of menacing, sinister ferocity and lighthearted humor. Charlie Day's rendition of Luigi was as frantic, cowardly, and awkwardly charming as I've always imagined the character to be. Anya Taylor-Joy's Princess Peach is a fierce, powerful leader, and Keegan-Michael Key's turn as Toad is the most faithful recreation of the bunch. If Toad had spoken lines in any of the original games, he most likely would have sounded exactly like the performance offered in the film. The most controversial, at least according to social media, performances of the lot, however, were those of Seth Rogen's Donkey Kong and Chris Pratt's Mario. Fans were quick to question why both actors were featured so much less frequently in the film's promotional materials. I too was worried that this meant that the studio was worried about the quality of the performances. However, just as with my fears of the Super Mario Bros. Movie skewing too child-friendly, these fears were also unfounded. Seth Rogen's natural delivery of his lines suits the film's depiction of Mario's original nemesis so well that it was difficult at times to believe the character wasn't created as a vehicle for Rogen's performance. Despite being one of Nintendo's original characters and having existed across many different mediums over the years, the Super Mario Bros. Movie offers the most nuanced take on the character yet, and my favorite among them. Finally, Chris Pratt's rendition of Mario is easily the most divisive and incendiary among fans of video games. The film's first voiced lines offer Pratt doing a take on Charles Martinet, the long-standing voice of Mario in the video games' version of the character. It becomes quickly apparent that the over-the-top, cartoony version of Mario's voice would be difficult to stomach over the movie's 92-minute runtime. Fans of Martinet, myself included, however, will be happy to know that he does appear in the film, voicing two separate characters. Pratt's performance as Mario was jarring for me at first, as I've grown up alongside the character and have become accustomed to the game's version of the character who rarely speaks. As the movie wore on, however, I warmed to Pratt's delivery, and by its end, I could see why Nintendo decided to go with a more grounded take on the iconic character. This is a Mario that I could listen to for hours, something I suspect I will be doing over the years through multiple viewings of this film and its inevitable sequels. Pratt delivers an excellent blend of Mario's iconic jubilation from the games and a more realistic Brooklynite. And it's in Brooklyn that the movie properly starts. After a brief introduction to Bowser, the film introduces the not-so-super Mario Brothers, who run their fledgling plumbing service from their home in New York. The film's take on the brother themselves is surprisingly nuanced, showcasing an unexpected depth of personality. We see a version of Mario that's struggling to find his place in the world, despite being skilled and courageous. He seeks the acceptance of the people closest to him, and we get a version of Luigi that, while scared of nearly anything, is willing to go to any lengths to support his brother. We get a brief look into Mario and Luigi's lives as plumbers in the film's opening, which is as charming as any fan of the video game series could hope. Brooklyn is littered with inside references to Nintendo's massive back catalog of games from the NES and beyond. There's even a 2D platforming section, a callback to Mario's earliest adventures. When a major emergency occurs in Brooklyn, Mario and Luigi rush to the scene to help. During the process of fixing the issue, the brothers stumble upon a warp pipe that transports them to the Mushroom Kingdom, or at least Mario makes it there. On their trip through the warp zone, the brothers are separated, setting the stage for our adventure. Illumination's version of the Mushroom Kingdom is breathtaking. Rather than just a castle as depicted within the games, the film adaptation features a bustling city filled with toads, shops, warp pipes, and floating platforms. Seeing Mario adapt to the rules of this world is hilarious in ways I didn't imagine. I expected to see Mario effortlessly navigate these obstacles, but I was pleasantly surprised to see him go through training to become the platforming hero I know him to be. While all this is happening, the movie will occasionally check in on Bowser and his plans for world domination. True to his character in the games, Bowser sets his sights on the Mushroom Kingdom. Jack Black delivers the most memorable performance in video game film adaptation history. Bowser comes off as evil and lovable in equal measure. The Mario Bros. Movie doesn't break any new ground insofar as storytelling is concerned. Its plot is what one would expect from a movie starring gaming's most noteworthy character. There are no twists or turns that will surprise the viewer, save for those on Rainbow Road, the all-out battle as seen in the trailers. Mario and the team engage in war across Mario Kart's most infamous track. The entire set piece is a spectacle on an enormous scale with all the hallmarks of the kart racing phenomenon. Items are thrown, karts are destroyed, and even the infamous blue shell makes an appearance. It's a thrilling part of the film that helps contextualize the existence of Mario's most popular spin-off title within the canon of the games. I couldn't help but smile not only seeing longtime rivals do battle, but hearing the back and forth between them. Seeing Mario face off against his enemies is nothing new for fans, but actually hearing them and seeing them express emotion is something I've never witnessed. I was delighted to see actual, believable interaction between some of gaming's most iconic characters in this way, and it signaled the beginning of a change in the way I view the Mario universe. By the end of the film, Mario is a fully realized hero. He runs, jumps, and stomps his way through a legion of Bowser's minions, displaying the joy and exuberance that the character is known for in his controller-bound outings. When I saw this version of Mario so full of energy and expression, it brought a tear to my eye. This character that I've spent my entire life adventuring with felt more real than ever. This was true of every performance, but seeing Mario in particular realized in this way was truly special. Throughout the film, beautiful remixes of songs from across Mario's history plays. During every pivotal moment, an instantly recognizable track from across the game series would come in to evoke memories of Mario's adventures on the small screen. By the time the credits rolled on the Super Mario Bros. Movie, I was ready to watch it again. I want to see how many Nintendo Easter eggs I missed the first time around. I want to see those amazing moments of Mario's journey to becoming the Mushroom Kingdom's savior again, and I want to show this movie to my kids. The Mario movie will be the way a whole new generation of fans are introduced to the character, and more than anything, I'm curious to see what this movie and its inevitable sequels will do to change the course of development of the games. Mario is forever changed with the introduction of this film. I can't see the games and the movies remaining separate after showcasing the impact more fully realized characters and a truly connected world can offer to the series. Only time will tell what becomes of the Mario series with the introduction of this film, but if the quality of this movie is anything to go by, there's never been a better time to be a Mario fan.